yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards in the weekend, harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Dude, great intro, Prince Adam.
Thank you. Got
Yeah.
a little bit creative today.
Yeah, that was great, dude.
It's hard not to throw Daryl Phelps' car in there. I mean, geez.
I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, Daryl Phelps' car is super badass. However, the Patriot's pretty bitching too. And the Chevelle from hell. They're all pretty awesome. So it's good, man. What a crazy past 2 weeks. 3 weekends, past
right.
2 weeks.
It took about a week to get back to feeling normal. I'll tell you that much.
Bro, isn't it weird? Dude, I'll just be honest, dude. Kenny was 100% right when he talks about there's this.
I'll never agree with that statement, but yes.
That's okay. That's okay. However, I will give him credit for being right about the fact that there is some lag happening after those 3 days, dude. Those 4 days. I mean, it literally is 5 days of just pounding and ground and pound. Right, because you got the day of travel on Wednesday, Thursday you're at the track, sorting everything out, setting everything up. Friday you're rolling in, people start coming in, then you're hanging out with the racers, you're talking to the track, you're trying to get the run orders all set up and the classes, working with the tech director and the competition director, and Saturday's full on, and Sunday it's hurry up and break it all down and haul ass home. And dude, it's just, and then so by Monday, dude, it literally takes me about a week to kind of decompress.
No doubt about that. Sorry if I'm seeming distracted. I'm sending a link, resending the link to our first guest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. No big deal.
Well, yeah, it definitely takes it out of you. I even got the comment on Sunday when I ran into my mom. She's like, "You're tanner than I've seen you in quite some time," just from standing out in that Alabama sun out on the track for a couple days straight.
Yeah, man. It's not hard to put it on when you're down there.
No, it's not hard to put it on, and then you only get a couple hours of sleep at night, and then you catch a hotel breakfast in the morning, you roll back out to the track, and then hey, maybe you eat again that day, maybe you don't. You don't know what's going to happen.
That's right. No, you're 100% right. It's like the one time I think out of the 2 days that I was going to eat something from the concession, I went up there. Well, maybe twice. I rode past it on the Burromax. Speaking of which, Burromax dealer, if you're looking for a Burromax electric pit bike, reach out. Let me know. Ryan at ADRLtour.com. I got you. But I'd take the pit bike out there and check it out, and the lines were just crazy long, dude.
The reason for it, once you got the food, you realize why the line was that long, because damn, if that concession stand just wasn't pumping out goodness left and right, it was crazy.
Yeah. They had really, really good food, man.
I caught some chicken tenders. I had to put in an order with your mom and Riley to have it gotten at some point in time because
chicken tenders.
Yeah, and fries, and then I devoured them underneath the bleachers like a homeless dog. It was but it felt so
funny
good.
As shit, dude.
It felt so good, and they tasted so
like
good.
A homeless dog.
It was crazy. It was some of the first sustenance I had that day outside of breakfast. So
don't mind me. I'll just be hanging out under the bleachers with all the other.
Well, after I got down under the bleachers, I found out that there was a whole little group of people down there putting out some bets and throwing around some money. So I had some entertainment and everything down there.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Rodney, what's good? Chris, what's good? Yeah, that's right. Landlords just collecting checks. How about that picture of John out there at Potts Camp, Mississippi, hanging out there at Bubba's exit, holding the ADRL Eagle? Like that was so. I was like, oh man, they are so good.
I saw that, and I was like, that is insane. But
yeah. Speaking of which, pretty cool. We did happen to see the Scruggs John Deere.
One of their locations on the way back.
Yeah. Yep.
That was fun to see. I caught a picture of that going down the highway.
Yeah. I was like, oh, look at that.
It was early on where we had to fight Mother Nature.
Oh man, Jesus. There's just nothing better that passes time than acting like you're in a video game as an adult driving a car. It's like you lived this long, you made it this long. Let's just have fun with it, right? Totally inappropriately dangerous. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Adam and I hit some pretty good supercells on the way back to Missouri. The whole band that's been coming through the past couple of weeks, which hope everybody's safe from the tornadoes down south and everything. But we basically rode the line all the way back to Missouri. And, there's no better time to set the cruise control at 70 miles an hour. Hunker down, grip the wheel with two hands, and just let it eat through a supercell. And you can't see nothing. There's a couple times, dude, where it was like I couldn't see more than a couple feet in front of the car.
Oh yeah,
I was like, okay, we
turned straight nautical. With our terminology and everything. It got real efficient.
Bruce,
what's up, Bruce?
What's up, buddy? Yeah, it did. It got.
Take your hand, I don't trust you.
Yeah, it did. It got a little hectic, man. Get a little hectic. So that was fun. Missouri Aurora Borealis, pretty amazing. Okay. Or you can call it HARP. However you want to look at it. Doesn't matter. We won't go down that rabbit hole.
That podcast.
It's pretty. It sort of kind of is. This is Tuesday night.
I know it has that feeling. Trust me. My filter's a little loose as well, so I get it.
I'm ready to just kind of like let it out a little bit, but it is the ADRL podcast on Tuesday night, which is a little different. Normally it is a special night. Normally we have our Bet You Didn't Know podcast where it's Bet You Didn't Know all kinds of weird shit.
Well, we had to do this because last Thursday was a bit of a special night. For those who don't know, it was Ryan's
Hey, George.
birthday.
Oh, yeah, it was my birthday. Yep.
We realized that about 2 hours maybe or so before it felt like pretty soon before we were going to go live. But that was all because of the fog of war coming out of Alabama. Nothing matched up time-wise yet.
No, it was good, like going through some weird thing. But yeah, so Yeah, the Aurora Borealis. Nick, what's good, dude? Thanks for coming out, Nick. Nick with the longest trip out of anybody, all the way from Washington, D.C. That was how many hours was that?
It was about
total
13,
for you?
13 and a half.
13 and a half. Yeah, that was a good
memory.
trip, dude. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for coming out, Nick. I know that was a long ride, and I wish you would have been able to get a rip in the old fridge there.
Taylor's asking for a copy of a selfie.
I think I have. I have them. I mean, I've got so much stuff. Literally, I've been decompressing. I've totally just like dropped the pack, crawled off into a cave, and have like went into hibernation for a week.
In a while.
Literally,
which is weird. I feel like we broke up.
But what's great about it is that like we can just jump right back into it, right?
Yeah.
No, it's truly like Prince Adam and I don't think we've really talked more than like 5 minutes or even on a phone call since last Monday. We've just kind of both
which is good.
But hey, the Aurora Borealis, super cool. That was cool to see in Missouri. Don't know if anyone else had a chance to see that. I like doing that. That was enjoyable. Really, it caught me by surprise. I was sitting out on the front driveway. The other Adam swing by, and my older brother Tony or Adrian came by too. And we're just
a heck of a trip for Tony.
Yeah, no, not Tony. And we're just sitting there, man. And it was like getting late, and I'm like looking around, just like looking up, and it was kind of blurry and red. And I'm like, what is up with my eyeballs? And I'm kind of rubbing my eyes, and then it just hit me. Oh shit! Northern Lights, the Midwestern Lights.
Earlier to let you know.
Oh, it's so weird, man. It was so weird.
Yeah, that was crazy. They went all the way down to Mississippi, Florida.
Oh, did it make it down that far?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Crazy. Do you feel like there's a correlation between the Northern Lights and the record-breaking amount of storms and tornadoes we've had over the past week or two? I don't know.
Maybe the result of a solar storm, so maybe it translates in. Not a scientist.
I don't know, man. I think it's something to do with all the cloud seeding.
Very possible.
All the chemtrails. They're doing it intentionally.
Well, whatever they did, I'm glad that it didn't impact us one bit down in Alabama.
Amen to that.
Weather turned out and worked out perfect.
Well, it almost did. The Friday night.
Friday night got us a little bit, but
Friday night did get us. It put me in a position to have to make some calls that I was like, this is going to be either really good or really bad. I was like, I'm going to have to make a call here, and this is either going to be good or bad. And I quickly found out that it was not what's good, brother? It's screwed with the guidance in my tracking. Oh, and your tractor. No shit. You know what? I didn't get any kind of weirdness on my phone. I was maybe thinking that I would have, but I didn't. Yeah, the storms have been brutal all over, man. I mean, everybody's been getting destroyed by tornadoes. I mean, we were in the basement. I had a cot down here. We've pretty much been hunkering down the basement over the past week and a half. What was I saying? The storms have been crazy. Either way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I had to make some. I think it's definitely not quite right. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Hey, chemtrails. I don't know. Maybe John Sullivan. Maybe he. Maybe you're laying down some clouds there, John. I don't know.
Yeah,
I heard they pay good money to some of those guys to do some of that stuff. They do. I mean, I watched a YouTube guy talked about it. Like, yeah,
sure.
Yeah, they pay us good money. We just run enough, hook up the shit, bap, spray. We're in, we're out, we're out. But yeah, so I had to make a decision, had to make a call on Friday night as the storms rapidly came in. And, you can never tell by the weather, but boy, do they lay it on you. If
it wasn't
a
crazy storm. It wasn't out of control, but it was enough of a storm to where it made the track to a point to where by the time it would have dried, even if they threw 100% at it, we would have been at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night. And there's just no sense in running. So,
right. Well, it wasn't that. It was the decision that I made to, if it's on the internet, it must be true. That's right. And that's where I get all my information. I had a blast. You're busy. Your mom kept me busy too. Looking forward to Huntsville. Yeah, my mom is something else. Anybody got a chance to meet my mom? She's pretty bitching. John is the man. Congrats. Lee, you're the man too. Now we know where Farmer John's getting it. But yeah, so again, had to make a quick decision. You learn a lot as a new promoter. You learn a lot and understand how the races go about, and you respect all the participants and the fans, and you want to have a good event. And you're just going to kind of take some you're going to take some learning curve, and I'm in it, and it's cool. But we tried to hurry up and fit in that qualifying one before the rain came in, and that didn't bode well with the racers, which understandably and respectably, they didn't have enough time to know. Clearly they didn't have enough time to know that they needed to get out there and be ready. And now I know. They need it. Everyone needs at least 30 to 45 minutes to update. Hey, even maybe an hour. Hey, we're going to start qualifying whatever round, 45 minutes. Let's keep everybody updated, which, that's number one, right? Communication's important. I knew better. I was just like, hey, I'm going to have to make this decision. And it was a good learning lesson. So not the best decision in the world. However, I learned from it, and that's great. And I love it. I appreciate all the feedback. And let's see. All right. you waving to me?
Yeah, usually when I pop up here, we know what that means.
Oh, okay. You really do. Okay. So yes, exactly. So what we want to do is we got some very special guests this week, and we got a couple guests, and this will be a good segue. We'll thank you, Lee. We're going to segue right in because this was a gentleman that gave me a lot of very good, productive, positive, constructive feedback when it came to that decision making. And it is our Extreme Dragster champion, Charles. Charles, what's good, brother, man?
How's it going, guys?
Man, you tell me. You look like you lost 15 pounds, bro.
Over 10.
Over 10. Golly.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How you feeling, man?
5 days, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So it just got you last week, huh?
Yep.
Sorry to hear, brother. So
It's
what?
all good.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're healing up and you're able to jump on the podcast with us, man. I'm glad you're able to hop on here. Maybe pushing it back worked out just fine.
It
The universe.
Last Thursday would not have worked. That's when it hit me. So,
So what do you do when you're sick? You just lay there like me in the fetal position on the ice cold tile floor and pray to God?
basically,
Yeah. Was it no fun at all? So, hey, again, congratulations. The Montgomery race was awesome. Drag Wars was great. Good turnout, great competition. And again, congratulations, man. What's that mean for you? Just another mark on the belt, and you're going to keep moving and grooving, eh?
yeah. No. First off, thank you guys for having me on, and thank you for doing the race and all. It was awesome. Moving and grooving. Mark on the belt. That was my first mark on the belt, believe it or not.
Oh, really? Nice.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well,
my first win, first pro tree race too.
Oh,
really?
That's right. You had mentioned that was your first pro tree race.
Well, that's crazy because our next guest who will be on with us here in a little bit, that was his first race as well. So that's crazy that those two made it to the finals.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool. And you guys were laying down good times. I've seen that you had a lot of great feedback from your sponsors and all your followers. I mean, you made that post and then bam, it was exploding for you. So that's great, man.
Yeah. No, everybody did good. It was awesome.
Yeah. So when you're at the races and you're tuning for the tracks and whatnot, I know A to B is typically the main focus, right? You just want to get A to B. But usually, and this is like my tech talk, right? Because I'm always so interested in how it all works. But whether it's a door slammer or a dragster, when you get to A to B, where are you usually looking to make your adjustments at that point? Kind of like, what's your process? Like, okay, we made A to B. We need more power. What are we looking at? Or is it just you're like, okay, you're looking at all of it? Are you videotaping your tires, or what's it look like in your world in the pit after a hit, after you make it A to B?
Be honest with you there, I have a tuner, Don Bailey, who was out with double pneumonia. So all of my stuff was sending him my data, and he tuned the car over the telephone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
No, he's awesome. He did a great job. Yeah, he's really good at what he does there. He's teaching me the ropes with it there because everything this year is all new on the car, fuel tech, and there's no every we have all kind of stuff on it there, completely different than I've been running before. So he showed me the ropes and teach me how to tune it. But yeah, you named it. You see to your pants, look at the run, videotape the run, see where you need to add power, take power away. Look at the track. You just try to judge what the track can take and what it wants. Yeah,
absolutely. And from a lot of the feedback I was getting, it seemed to be a bit of a tricky track to try to get tuned in on. And talking to the owner, Brad, after that, we had talked about the track and the track prep, and it sounds to me like it was tough for him per se, because they do a lot of radial and G-body races where they prep the ever-loving crap out of the track. He said it is so tight all the time that he was just worried about gluing it up anymore, and he was, it was just a really awkward transition. So, thinking about that, there's a lot of tracks that we go to, XRP being one of them, Rockingham being one of them, SGMP, where, it's mainly, I would say most of the time what they're running are door slammer slick races, so the track is kind of prepped for them. So this was interesting for me. This is my first event where I had really seen the teams making all kinds of adjustments to try to tune to the track, because it wasn't just a flat, and I don't really know how to articulate it, but it just wasn't 110% prepped for
it's hard
fast slick racing.
It's hard to pull a track back.
Slick tire versus radial is totally different.
Yes.
It's not even close to being the same. Radial needs a lot of sticky glue. Slicks need to get on top of the track and need some slip to it there. So it was definitely, I had a really bad tire shake there on Thursday there, and or Friday, and broke some stuff there right before the.
Oh no, man!
Oh yeah, so we had to thrash and get some stuff fixed. Dummy driver stayed in too long and broke some stuff there, and no big deal, no harm, no foul. Got it all, got it fixed up, and obviously made it go.
So whenever you get those shakes, it looks, from my perspective, all that horsepower and those big ass tires, and you see the marks and the glue on the track. Mm-hmm. What's it feel like when you're actually in it, getting your teeth shaken out of your, is it as violent inside as it looks? Is it really?
Yeah, it's violent. Yeah, it's a blur. You can't see.
You can't. It's just happening.
Like that. Your head just being bounced around so much. Yeah, it's yeah.
And typically you just let out of it. Although,
you got to let out. You're right. You as a driver, you hope to drive through it. But if it's violent like it was in that pass there for me, when it got that bad, it was no. You're not going to drive through that. It's not going to get any better. The tire, when it's grabbing a track like that and wadding it up, it's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. You just kind of
let it roll.
Yeah. Just let it happen and hold on and just let off whenever it's happening. Yeah. So, so it was interesting. It was interesting, Charlie, to see, just kind of how everybody, was tuning for, and I said Charlie, and I apologize. Just to see how everybody individually was kind of tuning for that track and kind of how that works. And, I guess in the big scheme of things, we'd all love it to be perfect right out of the gate, but is that is that part of the deal? Like when you're going to different tracks and different places, all the tracks are a little different. You got to kind of tune for it and do your best. Is that part of the skill set of being a driver and having a team?
Oh, that definitely. Most definitely. That's bringing the cream rises to the top on that there. If it was easy, everybody be out there just flying down the racetrack.
Right. That's a good point.
People complain about track surface and track prep all the time. And it's just, yes, you can run across some people that don't know what they're doing at tracks, but when it comes to some stuff, you just look at it and suck it up, quit complaining, and tune your car.
Man, weird.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Pod, man. I love it.
You are supposed to tune your car to the deal.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come to you. You go to it.
Yeah. I love that mentality, right? I mean, that's what, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, and it's not. And so that's where it's, make your adjustments, do your best, and let the cream rise to the top. That's basically what it boils down to. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, so your dragster, man, is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it stands out. It's absolutely gorgeous. Tell us a little bit about your dragster and how old it is, or if it's even that old, or kind of what you got going on.
Yeah. It's 272 272 inch
small block,
272 inch wheelbase. Next gen dragster. Next gen is opened by Ray Miller's son, Ray. He came over to Hendersonville, North Carolina, and opened a shop up there, and I decided to have one built. It's brand new. Only been to a few races this year. Everything on the car is new. Besides the motor itself, everything else is brand new in the thing. but Todd Barton at Barton's Custom Paint painted it up there. Did an awesome job.
And that's hand painted. That's not a wrap or anything. That's actually painted.
Oh, that's all paint.
Wow, man.
Other than the stickers on the side, which stickers that match the car, he did. No, it's all on him. He did just a knockout job on it there. Can't say enough about it.
Agreed.
It blew me out of the water. I picked, all I did, I'll tell everybody, I take no credit for that. I picked out, he designed the thing on paper, and I said, yes, looks good to me. And he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's one thing to see it, as the perspective, final product. But then I'm sure that first reveal, or when you went and saw it for the first time, you're like, dang.
Oh, it was awesome.
The thing is so sweet.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is, man. And then you have a snorkel on yours, right? Does yours have a snorkel on the engine or no?
Yeah, supercharged. So yeah, it has. Yes.
Oh, okay.
It does have the snorkel on there.
Yeah, it has.
Okay.
Yeah, the quick butterflies up there. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. And that's the forced air, right? That's a forced air induction. Okay. Fair enough.
Yep. Supercharger pulls it in there. Yeah, we had some, the car, we had some transmission trouble early in the year there. Right off the bat, had a brand new transmission drive for it there, and it just wouldn't work. Sent it back, went a different route, got a quick drive. And those guys over there, Steve and then Byron, are just awesome to deal with on the drive there. And B&J for the transmission. It's jewelry back there. It's a work of art. They do a beautiful job, those guys. Customer service and just awesome people to deal with.
Yeah, that's there's probably nothing better than when you're a competitor and you need things at the last minute or something happens, because I'm sure that's part of the industry, right? As a competitor in that.
Oh, yeah.
In drag racing, shit happens. It happens fast. I see the posts like, hey, is anybody in North Carolina heading to Texas because, somebody needs this, or who's heading here to stop off and pick this up for so-and-so, right? It's like, it's all just, very blink of an eye needed, so it's good to have that kind of customer support, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah. No, this all happened so fast. Made a phone call to John Salemi on Saturday after the one race in Virginia or in Galat, and had every part I needed by the next Saturday.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And that is that if you were to call those companies, it would take a month. Everybody stepped up, knew the position I was in, and within a week, I had everything to get the car switched over. Just like I said, you couldn't ask for better people to work with and deal with, from John Salemi to Quick Drive to B&J.
I've heard a lot about those guys, especially Salemi. I've heard a lot about him. I guess he's well-known tuner or builder.
They have their Pro Boost car.
Yeah,
he tunes cars too, and he also sells parts. So yeah, he does. Obviously he sells them. That's why I had to go. But everybody stepped up and got me all the parts I needed. Don Bailey, the tuner guy, they got together with John and set up the transmission and stuff. And yeah. Even though it's a 3-speed, I only had 2 speeds because the third gear went out. We got to get it fixed there. Had an airline break and took third gear out. So yeah, the whole time I was running that weekend was all in just with 2 to 3 speeds. So.
Oh wow!
Does it almost make you change your mind? Like, maybe we don't need a 3-speed transmission.
No, when you're going to the lights,
put the heat on the motor.
When you're going through the lights at 9,700, that's no fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. The motors just aren't meant to. Just praying like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to leave 3 times, and my son's like, "We're here. We're staying. We're getting this done," and we did.
Now, is it possible in that position? Let's say third gear's out, you got first and second. We know you're coming out of the hole pretty hard, like normal, right? First and second. Normally, you try to hit that third gear somewhere down. I don't know exactly the right footage, but is there a way to tune it to where maybe then, and maybe you did that because you only had 2 gears, you tune it down a little bit to where maybe you're coming out of the hole not so hot, but then you kind of picking up speed and you almost have to time it perfectly to where you don't blow the engine by the time you make it through
almost the other way. You got to come out of the hole harder. That way you can relax on the motor down track. You got to try to get going because you can't really pull down track hard because you're spinning the motor.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so you want to get down there quicker.
You are straining it out, I didn't want to get the rev limiter any higher than I had it. We were bouncing off the rev limiter down there. I had it set at 9,900, so it kicks in a little bit ahead of time. Yeah.
That's crazy. Those motors, those big block Hemis can handle that kind of RPM.
I don't have a Hemi, but yeah.
No, you don't have a Hemi, do you?
Nope.
I was going to ask you that earlier. I was going to bring that up. Well, you don't have to say what you're running. I don't know what the etiquette is on asking motors.
No. It's called a 481X. It's a hodgepodge, if you want to call it that, of parts put together. What I mean by that is Rodex did it years ago. Alan Johnson bought all the stuff, and it takes Hemi parts and some Chevy parts. It's kind of really don't take any Chevy parts per se, but it uses a Hemi crank, Hemi rods, and Chevy style heads that they CNC'd just out of a block of aluminum. That's why they're so tall and so thick.
Okay.
To handle the stress, but so it can handle the RPM, but just not very good on it. Just still hard on parts. The more you spin them, the harder it is on parts, the more it costs to operate.
Yeah. It's just not something you want to do. What are the first components to go at those kind of consecutive RPMs?
Valve springs and rods.
Valve springs and rods.
And connecting rods.
The valve springs just heat up and lose their tension, or how does that work?
They just from overworking them, they can break and they can lose their tension. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Or heat up. It's just overworking, just stress.
Huh. That's interesting.
And
I love tech talk.
The cycles. I mean, it puts a lot of stress. We rather keep it somewhere around 9,200, 97s. We'll push it a little bit there. So.
Gotcha. Now your fuel pump. One last question before we bring Trulson on, and I found this interesting that your fuel pump is actually ran by your cam.
Yeah.
Or is it,
and everybody that runs a blower like that, like I have Trulson, all the guys, everybody, their fuel pump is ran that way.
Yeah, that's
everybody, even all up to Top Fuel. It's the same style Top Fuel has. Top Fuel runs their fuel pump the same way. Of course, they run they run big pump, bigger pumps for how much fuel you need. But yeah, they're all ran the same way in the same spot there.
So your blower's off your crank, your fuel pump's off your cam. And I wonder who had the idea, like, screw having a remote fuel pump pumping this thing. Like, let's just attach it to the cam, and what the benefit is.
You can't. No remote fuel pump can supply the fuel we need. I don't know if anybody else's motor. We're pumping, especially just in, to keep the motor cool. That's the fuel keeps the motor cool.
Yeah.
To start, when you start leaning on it hard at the end of the track there, you got to dump more fuel to it to cool it off. And,
oh, that's interesting.
We're pumping 15 gallons a minute into that thing. So just turn your water hose on and just see how much that is really running in.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, like 5 to 8 gallons every 30 seconds or something like that. Just some.
Yeah, it consumes some fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're huge. How big are your fuel hoses on that thing? They're like 2-inch, 3-inch hoses.
Going into it's a number 10. It's about the pressure. We run a lot of pressure and stuff, and it gets it in there.
Yeah.
A lot of volume, a lot of pressure. Yeah.
That's amazing. And alcohol, right? Like you guys are. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And then, anyways, I could keep doing tech talk here because I just love it. There's so much to learn about. All right. So here we're going to do, and I know we've already talked about this as a matter of fact in the pits because, it's you and I, and we've already done this, but just for everybody out there, there's a little segment I like to do called In the Groove. And I like to ask all the racers, what are you listening to in the pits to get you going? Or if you're working on your motor back at the shop, or if you're even at work, or if you're in the shop and you just need that day going, what kind of music's playing over the speakers? What are you guys rocking out to?
When I want to get in the groove, from Zeppelin to Stain to Soundgarden. By the way, love your shirt the other day on your birthday shirt was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, my Led Zeppelin shirt. I appreciate that. Yeah,
you
man.
Got it. Yeah.
I'm a diehard Zeppelin fan. Well, those are bangers. Every one of those bands you just listed are bangers, from Zeppelin to Stain to Soundgarden. Those are all super great. Newfound personally, now as I'm an older adult, I know we kind of talked a bit about this. Iron Maiden. I've recently just started liking Iron Maiden and listening to all their albums. Have you ever listened to Iron Maiden, or do you a big fan of them, or?
We talked about that. It used to be, but I am now more, just you start appreciating different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like movies or whatever, stuff you didn't like when you were younger, you like when you get older. And
just like
the music they put in, the time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, those are all great bands. Kind of reminds me of like movies, as an adult, you go back to revisit movies that scared the shit out of you when you were a kid, like Phantasm and weird movies like that. And you go to watch them and they're just corny as shit. You're like, what? Like, how was that even scary? You're like, I don't even get it. I don't know. That's funny. All right. Well, that was great. I appreciate you sharing that. So we're going to bring in our next guest, Mr. James Trulson.
How are you?
James, what's good, man?
Pretty good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you just good. Charles, can you hear just fine, brother?
Yes, sir. How you doing, James?
Pretty good. How about you, man?
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Such tense face off since they're lining up in the finals. God, I could cut it with a knife.
No.
It's too nice. The whole class is full of nice people. It's crazy. It's great.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's all love. I mean, I really, I'm glad he won it just as glad as I would have been if I won it, as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, no, it was super great, man. And you were laying down some heater ETs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the car runs really well. I mean, I had the car built by Boss, and they built a fantastic car.
Yeah. Yeah, you were was thinking, man, I just do another one of those hits, man. We'll lay it down as that record. You got to back that up. But either way, man, I mean, I would say that say that that's still a PB, right? Personal best for you. What was that?
Personal best.
68 is what it was, or
368 at 199 mile an hour.
Yeah, man, that's a
0.15. I mean, don't say yourself short.
There's
that video evidence.
So, James, tell us a little bit about your machine, about your bullet you got there, brother.
Well, or even before that, while we've got both on here, I was kind of hoping we could talk about just the dragster class as a whole, and we'll definitely get to James's car, but definitely wanted to while we had both of the runner-up and finalist winner here, and see, since it is a class that we're trying to develop and trying to expand, just to see how it is from the racer's side to be able to have places to finally get out and let it loose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, James.
I think it's great. I mean, I love the whole atmosphere y'all got going on. I mean, I had a blast. I don't know about anybody else, but we had a really good time.
Good. It felt like it was kind of a laid back environment. Yeah, that's kind of the goal, right? Like, we just want to have some fun.
That's right.
Unless I make some cockamamie decisions that draw up the racers, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it, Charles. I understand. Uncle.
I was waiting for somebody to bring out a prison shank.
I thought I was going to get shanked by Amanda Hoover's mom or mother-in-law, whoever that was. Oh my gosh. I was like,
she came at you hot.
Bro, she came at me real hot. I was like, holy cow, I feel like I'm in prison. I'm getting backed up here. But it's all good. And you know what? Hey, look, I 110 million% get it. I mean, look, we all put in a lot of time, a lifetime of knowledge, effort, money, energy, travel. It's very competitive, and I get when some decisions are made that just kind of throws everything off when everybody wants to be on top of their game, right? And so that whole scenario was a great experience. Even in the moment, it seemed like it was a little awkward. In the big scheme of things, it was definitely a good experience. So but I totally understand. So when we first kind of opened this Extreme Dragster class, and we just kind of threw it out there, boy, did it set fire and kind of take off. I mean, we had everybody from Keith Haney to just all these guys commenting on the posts about this dragster class, and everybody's like, yeah, thank God it's so. And I mean, but I told y'all who's gonna win. Oh man, Sullivan, he's something else. Love that guy. He's so good.
All the John Sullivans.
All the John Sullivans, yes. However, so explain the importance of this class, this Extreme Dragster class, this ADRL Extreme Dragster class. Explain what it means to you guys and the opportunity that it creates that maybe you may not be able to get somewhere else in another series or whatnot. James, we'll start off with you again this time.
There just really isn't any other extreme heads up, eighth mile, no limit dragster class around, really. I mean, I don't know of anywhere that you can run it wide open. And PDRA and all these other groups have a good thing going on with Top Dragster, but I personally just don't want a bracket race.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Charles?
Yeah, like I said, PDRA has their stuff, which is they have a good thing going with the bracket race. Fastest bracket class there is.
Yeah.
You'll have to run 365 at maximum. We are the fastest bracket class that I know of in the world as far as that goes. There's not a faster bracket class out there. But your stuff there, Pro Tree, Heads Up, just has another vibe to it there. There's no pedaling, there's no nothing. And yes, you do lift and you do watch the other guy, you're still trying to win in a bracket race.
Right.
It does happen. But yeah, to go up and be heads up, there's no other way to do it at right now, except for with you guys. I mean, there's some stuff going on, but some of the tracks they race at are not exactly safe. Really, really super short and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Last year, some races, but I would take my car to just because they were running like in, high threes and stuff like that. But to go where you guys go and just let everybody, let it all hang out is awesome. I mean, I just like to see more of it.
Yeah. Amen. And and that's the goal too, Charles, as we move forward. For me, this is all new, right? So I've got a clean slate. My experience with all these venues are new experience. I do have the good, I have my vetting questions down per se, but it's good to be able to, as we move forward in these next few years, be able to really pinpoint and hone in on the tracks that are just the ideal tracks to be able to do this. Not just location, but as far as the facility and the track itself. And it's really a great opportunity to do this. I did not know that. I didn't know that the top, what is it? Is it a top sportsman dragster class? Is that what you call it in the PDRA? Or what is it? Top dragster?
It's called Top Dragster. And in the PDRA, the top 16 go in to race their own race. They race what's called Elite Top Dragster, and they race themselves. But it is still a bracket race.
It's a bracket race.
It's still a bracket race. It's a dial-in race, just like the bracket class you had in there, but it's just a fast.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we're dialing 370, anywhere from 365 to 385, whatever. There, most of the time, the top 16 takes in the mid to low 380s to get in. If it's a good,
wow.
in wintertime, summertime, be a little slower. But yeah, it's a very, very fast. Everybody's within probably a tenth and a half of each other.
Okay. Wow. Which in my mind, I mean, and look, I'm a novice, so even tuning something in at like 5.0 or 5.50 would be challenging to me, considering all the variables you got to look at, right? To be able to run an index of a 370 or 380, that's super fast. And your shit's got to be on point, or you're not gonna. I mean, you break out, or you're just not doing it. I mean, yeah, that's a super skill set for sure. Well, that's interesting. So, and then I guess the Pro Tree is different than a bracket race. Again, this is me going through the learning curve here, right? Because it's not a Pro Tree and a bracket.
It's off of the time you dial.
Oh, that is. It's the time you dialed in because you're getting a handicap versus the other guy.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So when you get in,
I got it. I'm learning it.
Go. Yeah. Big, huge. That was the biggest thing, just to be in there and be ready to go.
Yeah, and you guys are lining up. So is the trim different than for a top dragster than it would be for, because we're run what you brung, and that's just how it's always been. However, do you add, I mean, are there weights and stuff in top dragster? Are you adding weights, removing weight? I mean, are there handicaps for power addition, stuff like that? No. Okay.
No,
so it's,
you just there are some weight limits, but nobody ever gets below them as far as that goes. It's hard to get your car that light below the weight limit. But as far as it's more or less the same thing, because you're limited to the 365 and it is a bracket race, you still have to repeat. No matter what, you have to run your number. So
gotcha.
I don't give a crap what fuel you run or whatever. If you want to run nitro, whatever you want to run, it don't matter. You still have to run your number.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to be good at the tree and you got to run your number. It doesn't matter how fast you're going.
Right. No matter what. And there's a limit on that. Whereas with your stuff, I fully get, with the no nitro, no stuff. But yeah, still with you, it's unlimited, as far as running how fast you want to go.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Trulson, go ahead.
No, you would see. You're good.
Trulson, how did you come up with Hulk? Where did that come from?
The car was actually driven by my father for several years, and
really,
with I say several years, 3 years, and we ran a little local show around here that ran kind of outlaw dragster deal, and the kids just love it. I mean, you get kids running up to the car, flexing like they're Hulk. I mean, that's what we're out there for, is for the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me. I mean, I really like to see the kids have a good time.
It makes me want to buy a set of Hulk hands, and so the next time, like in Huntsville, when we go run, I'll have my Hulk hands on. We'll come up to the start line, like, just have some fun with it.
I'll buy the green paint if you want to paint yourself green.
Oh shit, I don't know. I already put myself in Obi-Wan Kenobi costume, which, by the way, I saw some film of me walking away. That thing was legit. The way the back of it was just kind of flowing. I really felt like Obi-Wan. Like I just moved some shit with my hand. It was pretty great. The force was strong with me. But yeah, that was that was fun. I really wish more people would have got engaged in the Star Wars stuff. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. I had fun. It was a good time. So
we got Halloween at the next one. So that's
for sure. For sure. So and this, for some reason, this triggered a conversation Charles and I had as far as shutdown. And I've not talked to Dave yet. However, I was assured it was good. But in the big scheme of things, do you guys have, in general, and I know you're not track guys, but what in your mind do you feel is safe shutoff for any vehicle going 220, 3.5, 3, 60s, 70s? Are you counting full track length? Are you going X amount of feet past quarter mile or past eighth mile? What does that footage look like for you guys? You want
to go?
I'll go first. I know Montgomery, to me, I didn't pull a chute. Honestly, Montgomery had plenty of stopping distance. I think we run a class. Don't quote me on this. I want to say the shortest track we've ever been on, I want to say it's got about 1,800 feet of stopping distance. And we stopped there, but it's hairy. It's one of those deals that you've got to be paying attention, and you've got to throw your chutes at the finish line, not after. And if the throttle or something hangs open on it, you're wrecked.
Now, are you saying 1,800 past quarter or past eighth?
Past the eighth of a mile.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Okay, and that seems really short.
Yep. That's short.
Yeah.
Comes up fast. I think Rocky said, which is a guy that helps me do all the tuning and all, I want to say he told me we traveled roughly 200 feet every, I want to say half a second or something like that. The car is really moving, even slowing it down.
Dang. Yeah. Well, I guess when you do the math, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under 4 seconds. Yeah. I mean, you're doing eighth mile in under 4 seconds. You kind of just do the math on that. That's pretty dang quick. So you guys are pulling like 4 and 5 G's in your dragsters. At least I'm sure it feels like it.
Mine pulls 3.7.
3.7. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Golly. I need to get a race car.
Oh man, every time we do a podcast, that's the conclusion.
I know, right? I mean, I can't help it. I don't know if I can fund much more at the moment between a household and the drag racing. It was funny because I actually had an opportunity to sit in John Sullivan's Patriot. He's like, "Hey man, I'm going to start it up. You want to sit in it?" And I was like, "Yes, please. That would be awesome." So man, I sat in there and they gave me the nods for flipping it on, and And so we went through the whole process, and he's like, give us some. And I was like, all right, man, I'm going to tell you what. I thought my Cutlass with the blown 454, my Weekend Warrior, had a little something. Man, there's no words to describe how absolutely intimidating 4,000 horsepower is in a half an inch on a, I mean, I don't even think I moved it that much. It was just whop, pop. I still get excited thinking about it, man. So I have so much respect for you guys to get in those things and just ruthlessly launch yourself down the track like that. Like, it's one thing to see it, but no words could ever describe what it's like to be inside there. And I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir, but you guys must have balls the size of your heads, because it's that is absolutely insanity. I mean, it's so awesome. So a lot of respect to you guys for doing that shit. No wonder you're addicted to it.
Yeah. It's either balls the size of your head or brains the size of my balls. I don't know.
That's right.
You take a pick.
Adam. Oh shit, that was actually really funny. So how did you so Charles, when you got into drag racing, how did you start off? Did you start off in a dragster? Were you kind of like old school doing bracket racing, like in high school kind of stuff? What was your progression into racing?
No, I really didn't get started till late. My father raced, my uncle raced. We talked about that. He raced a lot and all. My younger son, we got him a junior. And when he was racing juniors, that's all I was doing was that. I didn't have my own car, let him in his junior. And when he basically aged out, I said, well, Dad's turn.
Like, I'm going to give it a shot.
That was in 08. I raced from 08 to 11. Got rid of it all and got back into it last year.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So you've been out of it for 12, 13 years, get back in it. Now you got, so that I'm piecing it together. So that's why you got a nice new bad Mamma Jamma machine. And
brought my old car back out last year with this motor in it and decided to build a new one. Like I said, Ray moved 30 minutes from me. It's kind of a no-brainer. Decided to build one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We talked with him, decided to build one there. And
So did you jump in? Did you jump? I mean, your son was doing junior dragsters. What kind of did you go into an index? What kind of index racing were you doing right out of the box? What were you doing
with him?
With you yourself?
Oh, I just was bracket racing. I didn't, just bracket racing. I was just going, 470s, 450s. The fastest I'd been until last year was 420.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
23 at like 165 was the fastest I've been until last year. Yeah.
So how'd the threes feel? Is it night and day? Is it like
totally different when you're on nitrous? I don't know if James ever had any nitrous passes under his belt or whatever there. Nitrous hits totally different. Nitrous smacks you in the back, like you get hit in the back of the head. It just hits you, whereas this stuff it's really torquey and it just pulls.
Yeah.
It nonstop pulls. Nitrous hits you real hard. And then by the time you go listen to the track there, you just kind of feel like you're just floating along, even though you're accelerating, still don't feel like you are. This just pulls the whole way down the track. Superchargers just pull and pull and pull and don't stop.
Superchargers forever.
That's right.
How about you, Trulson? How did you get your start racing, brother?
I actually have been on and off racing. I've raced with my father since we were since I was 8 or 9 years old. He ran a Mustang back in Easy Street back when Orska was a big ordeal, and he sold the car and all in 2010 or 11, and he stayed away for it for the most part. And then when I turned 11 years old, he bought me a little Mustang, and I never drove a junior. I jumped right into a big car. I didn't have any interest in juniors, so I went 6.0s or 680s and 90s in a Mustang, just playing around, and we got rid of it, and it's just escalated quickly. I mean, like I told y'all this weekend, I've made probably 10 or 11 passes in the car since we put the Hemi in it. I've been 396 one time when it had the Chevrolet, or I call it a shimmy. I had the same kind of combination as Charles with a Chevrolet, but it was Hemi bottom end. It had regular big block Chevrolet style heads.
Mm-hmm.
And then we swapped over to the Hemi, and since then I've drove the car this year from where my father had a pacemaker put in, and I've made probably 10 or 11 passes. And again, that 368's probably my 8th or 9th pass in the car. So
Wow. Hey,
it's been,
congratulations.
it's been an absolute blast. I mean, it's like I tell people all the time, it feels like you're strapped into a slingshot and you're a little bitty old pebble in there.
Oh, right. I know the feeling. I mean, let me rephrase that. I don't know the feeling, but I got a glimpse of what that potentially could feel like. And even when I thought I was hitting it and it was just rattling, I was like, oh my God. And he goes, yeah, dude, that was like half throttle. I thought there's no way in hell you guys are crazy as heck doing this, man. But how did that 368 feel? Was it just light years fat? Like every tenth of a second, can you tell? Like, is there a big difference between every tenth of a second?
Really, the only thing I can really tell in a car is when the car starts really mile an hour. And 192, 93 is hauling ass, but when the car runs 199 or 200, it really feels like it's moving. From that 368 pass, it as bad as it sounds, my car feels like it's a Cadillac driving down through there. My car drives really well. I've been blessed, and again, Boston them built a fabulous car, and I just it feels like a Cadillac driving down through there. And I mean, it's fast, but to me, the first second that you go down the racetrack, if anybody can tell you what the first second feels like, they're lying to you. You're just so jostled up in that first second of the pass that you really can't explain it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I definitely, even if you tried to explain it, I probably couldn't even rationalize. That's why I need to get into it just so I can have some good bench racing with you guys. Cause right now I feel like a kid wandering into the middle of the movie asking like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? Everybody's like, shut up. I was like, okay, so I need to get some track time under my belt. But I do want to say that, I am us as a team, Adam and my mom, because again, it's just us three. And I do just want to point this out again. No one is ever banned from the ADRL. Anybody can run with the ADRL if you want to. I need to put that out there. Apparently there's some weird shit being said out there, and I just need to let it be said that anyone's welcome to run out with us. But I do appreciate you guys' support coming out to the event, checking it out. I promise you, as we move forward, things are going to get smoother. We'll have right now, I'm just kind of working through competition directors that are understanding my leadership style and kind of what my expectations are. So you might feel a little bit, of some, I'll just say that it will get smoother as we go along, but it's all in the vision of a good, fun environment, not a high-strung event where we can all just have a good time and it's a good, smooth event, and there's no hiccups until I'm put in the hot seat and got to make some kind of weird decision where I'm like, dang it, I got to make a decision here, which I love it. I love being in uncomfortable positions because that's really where you grow. But I do appreciate the support and you guys coming out. And again, congratulations, Charles, for being the winner of Drag Wars. That was absolutely amazing. And Mr. Trulson being runner-up. And I'm sure your check's cleared just fine. So I hope that
mine did.
They're just fine.
Okay, good. But hey, I genuinely appreciate you guys so much. I love hanging out with you guys, talking in the pits, and I'm going to see where that show is, Charles. It's in Kentucky sometime over the summer, so I'm going to need some company, man. We'll go get our heads melted off for a couple of days. Sounds like a good time if you could take away from your busy shop. But much love, guys, and do you guys have anything else on parting words or anything? You don't have to, just, while we're wrapping it up.
No, just thank you guys for doing what you're doing. Look forward to Kentucky there. Don't forget about me.
I won't.
Yeah.
Amen.
Adam and all, y'all are doing great for the first race out or whatever there, 2 races out in.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving forward and you'll be awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I will confirm that there were some bugs killed in the spectator parking lot. I will say that.
That guy's still living, got some rent in your head, huh?
Yeah, he did. He paid some good rent in my head. I was like,
He
what are
crawled
you
right up
talking
mine as
about?
well. I get
Oh
it.
yeah, man. Oh boy. But hey, we had over 500 cars at the event. To me, that is way better than we've had so far, and it's headed in the right direction. So, we'll keep going, and it'll be a good time. So, again, I appreciate you guys, Charles, James. You guys take it easy, rock on, and I appreciate you guys jumping on with us, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Thank you for having me.
All
All right, guys. Peace out.
right.
Thanks, Vanessa. I love those guys, man. I love racing. Other than like the music community and musicians, where you're just very determined and you love your craft and you work hard at it. Like,
yeah,
this
but you
is
run
another-
across I feel like there's a higher percentage of the divas and the
Oh yeah, it's weird. I was thinking about that today.
I haven't run into that yet.
Head singers, lead singers are typically that
yeah,
way.
Yeah. There's always one. There's at least one in the band that is that person.
Yeah. There is usually.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
it
say
is.
it's not the drummer. I mean, unless you're Tommy Lee.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, it's
Motley Crue
typically-
kinda broke the mold and just said, you know what, we're just gonna chalk all of them in instead of just
Yeah,
having one. We're gonna have
Everybody's
all of
going
them.
in.
This
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
see what happens.
They're the exception.
Yeah.
But in the big scheme of things, it's always the front man. It's typically the head singer. If they can handle that kind of I mean, then you have like guys like Geddy Lee. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure he still had game.
You got Maynard, who prefers to not really be the front man or center point of things. So yeah, there's rare exceptions across everything. But
Yeah.
from what I've experienced, at least in drag racing so far, everybody's cool. And that's the thing that we kind of talked about it, not on an episode, but we'll talk about it now. That's my favorite thing about drag racing. Has almost nothing to do with the track. It's all the stuff that happens off the track, in the pits, meeting the new people, hanging out
At the starting line.
yeah, all the stuff. Yeah, all sorts of things before the light goes green. That part's still fun, and it becomes more fun to me because now I have personal vested either relationships or knowledge of the people in the race. It's not just red car against blue car. Now it's Timmy versus Tommy or whatever the case might be. So
That's right. That
kind of stuff plays a huge factor. I mean, it definitely. I don't think it hit harder. That was probably the case outside of the one run of Hank's that that one caught me off guard.
Oh yeah, that did, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it got a little emotional when I got down there, dude, and got to give him a hug. Only because I have never witnessed a wreck like that.
Yeah,
I mean, any kind of wreck, frankly. I mean, I've seen bumps on the wall or hit some cones or things get a little sketchy. Steve Wiley getting totally sideways, like that was
a close one.
super sketchy. It was a close one. But I've not ever seen anybody hit the barrier at 150 plus miles an hour and then go into flames. Like it was. Oh my gosh, man! And I have just a genuine.
Yeah, the 10 people. That was where it was at for that race. I'll tell you that.
No, I didn't ever get a chance to get over there, man. They were.
I got out there and got in there, and they great people. I'll tell you that. And it was fun. Great. And that track had such a great setup for it, especially on the opposite side of the bleachers, to where it was just dedicated almost exclusively to that sort of spectatorship. And
Right.
You could even see it on the bleacher side. The bleachers had people in them, but you go just past the bleachers and it was canopy after canopy after canopy.
Oh yeah, I mean it was the whole
Definitely.
quarter mile down. Yeah, I mean it was fender to. I mean it was car to car all the way down, tents all the way down both sides of the tracks, and I mean even to have a third of the bleachers filled up with
great.
all of that. I mean it was pretty awesome. I felt good about that. I'm sure that as time goes on and things are delegated a little more, I wouldn't say appropriately, but as things get delegated and I don't feel like I have such a burden of the event and decision making on my shoulders, it'll be nice to be able to just kind of break away and, you know, go commingle with the spectators and meet people and hang out and go in the pits and hang out. But as of right now, I feel like I'm kind of missing out on it, which is like my favorite thing, because I love hosting parties. I it's just my thing. I mean, as you know, I mean, shit, how many parties do we have on HIMSATH? You know, yeah, I mean, I do like hosting parties. I love people. Generally speaking, I love people.
And we know I'm a people person.
For sure.
Try to get me away from a crowd.
You know, and it's one of the aspects of the event that I don't want to miss out on. And I've got to, I shouldn't say make it more of a concerted effort, because there's, you know, I just can't, but holy shit, it's the whole, it's just the whole dynamics of the event, like what we're talking about, just the build up, and then it's happening, and then there's rain, and I'm not trying to stress out, but it's more of, it makes it more stressful when you don't really have definitive answers from experience, where you're just kind of,
that Friday night hanging out at Hank's pit with the seafood and all that.
Oh, that was super great, man. The day before his birthday. Yeah.
John Sullivan, other drive, everybody kind of congregates, and that's the fun. That's the part that I enjoy about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, translates onto the track when the races happen. But
yeah, for
sure.
sure.
If you don't take the opportunity to get out there into the pits and experience some of that, you're missing out on a great portion of drag racing.
And everybody's so cool, man. I mean, again, just super cool. It's great to see, you know, people helping out people. Tish was getting all the help in the world that she needed. I was really glad to see her show up after just fighting her car, and then
I don't disagree.
Live band time. No shit. You know, hey, just so everybody knows, Adam and I are huge music guys, and it has absolutely been the topic of conversation so many times about bands. We have spent endless hours researching bands in the areas, so on and so forth, you know, production companies to come set it up. But in the big scheme of things, it's almost like you have to prioritize where your budget's being allotted to, because right now it's, you know, as we grow and we get more spectators, it'll allow things. And as we grow and we get more spectators and we can get more sponsors, then we can grow, you know, partners, and we get partners, we can grow, you know. But right now it's like we can't really afford to do the things that I really, really want to do to make it a spectacular event, because I haven't, I'm not to the level of comfortability soliciting partnerships, because I'm not quite where we need to be with the spectator count. And maybe that's the wrong way to go about it. Maybe
we've argued this.
We have argued it. Yeah. Boy, have we. I mean, hundreds of hours.
We had 9 hours on the way back from Alabama.
Right.
Outside of when we had to put the shields up and engage, it was a lot of business talk.
Yeah, it really was, which are great. Really, those are the really debriefing conversations that are really constructive. Those 9-hour drives back. Super nice shooting the shit with Adam.
Oh, yeah, I remember you.
He's like, I was at the RV grilling. Yeah, so, you know, we love bands. I love the idea. And let me tell you, I can, with the proper funds, and I mean, I'll solicit it now. Anybody that is interested in, if you know anybody, if you are, and I'm not a fan of asking for things, and it's a barrier that I have to break through, because I've always been a very independent self.
If you believe in what we got going on and what we're looking to do here and our mission and our motivations behind it, we'd love your help, but at the same time, we get it.
Yeah. And so, you know, it is uncomfortable for me to ask. However, what a better platform than to do it now, and maybe on social media. If you're interested, or if you know anybody that may be interested in supporting our events, you know, we're looking for sponsors. You know, I'm willing to basically take whatever at this point to help, you know, buffer the financial exposure a little bit. But if you know somebody, or if you know any other businesses, we have a Huntsville event coming up. You know, we can even talk about just some sponsorships for that event in Huntsville, Rocket City Drag. So Please reach out to some people if you're interested or you know someone. Let us know. It'd be greatly appreciated. I'm going to keep working on my end to procure some more partnerships so that we can put on the events that I envision. Because I'm a great promoter when I'm doing things that I believe are going to be game changing and absolutely amazing. And not that I'm not there right now. It's just it's tough because we're not quite where I want to be. Karaoke for free, I will. Singing well, you are, I'm sure. I have got a good group of people behind me from Kenny and Miguel.
The whisper reading is amazing content.
That's my SMR, or what is it? SMR, AMS,
ASMR, I think.
ASMR, yeah, something like that. So anyways, I'll put that out. Also, I'll talk remotely. So we also have, I can't forget about these beautiful things, people.
A lot of people asking about those down in Alabama.
These are absolutely beautiful hats. These are Richardson hats. These are the flat bill truckers.
We have flatback, we have the trucker style snapback, and we have fitted.
That's another beautiful one right there.
Patches are customizable, 3 different shades and colors, a couple different options. We also have embroidery. My shirts are not for sale. Beautiful hats.
Are custom.
Yeah, mine are mine and mine alone, but we do have these. And
this is QVC. This is ADRL QVC at the moment. As you can see, beautiful Richardson. We really enjoy Richardson.
They're great hats.
They make very good products. Very good products. So as you can see, we have quite an amazing line of hats here.
Yeah, Eric, I did see a clip of that. That was
that's super
unfortunate. What a beautiful car.
El Mero. That's one of my favorite rides.
Beautiful.
So these hats are available online. All you've got to do is go to the website, pick which hat you'd like, and we will get this out. This is a flat bill here, and there are photos of me wearing them. Also do a 368, 370. I was a little confused with Ryan talking when he brought me on. I'm good at confusing people, James. It's all good. All right. So those are some hats. And as well, we do have ADRL merch. This is solid tumbler. Very nice tumbler. Another very nice ADRL tumbler. And we have a chrome one.
30 ounce.
Yes. Yep. And a 30 ounce. Let's see. So whatever one you want, please go online, purchase it online, and
we'll get it right out to you.
Get it out to you. It does take a little bit of time just because it's drop ship, so we got to get the orders together
and they're all custom made. I mean, with the tumblers, with the hats, with pretty much everything that I'm trying to put into the merch line, I'm trying to instill a little bit of customizability so that you can choose if you want the ADRL letters, if you want the ADRL Classic logo, the combo logo. So we don't want to just assume which one you'd want. So we like to put those different options out there so you can choose.
That's right. That is right. So, yes. So if you're interested in some merchandise, which I hope that
Darlene's asking about her tumbler and t-shirt.
Did you get my order for the tumbler? Adam, have we received that order? Adam gets all the notifications for the purchases. I do not. But he will look. And if you put it in, I'm certain we got it. And as a matter of fact, I'm sure, Darlene, that you got the red 30-ounce tumbler because that's the one you'd asked about. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, we got one sitting right over there. It'll be shipped out tomorrow. I won't do that again, I promise.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I'll get working on that here as soon as I get my screens back and can use them.
Oh, that's all good. It is all good. And again, sponsorship. So if anybody is interested in supporting us in our future events, we are looking for partnerships / sponsorships. And speaking of which, we do want to thank you're very welcome, Darlene. We do want to thank our awesome sponsors, Renegade Racing Fuel, They have been awesome for us. And again, they do have a contingency program and also a program that if you do race with us or you're a winner in general, they have a special program for any winner where I think you get some type of discount on racing fuel or whatnot.
With the ADRL.
Yeah. Fuel
and it
Tech
smells good.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it smells like grapes. I
so
love
good
that they
when it goes
get to
down.
add that additive stuff in there.
Yeah.
Fuel Tech also. Your mom gave my dad a youth large instead of an adult large. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Hey, Mike Tolley. Hey, do us a favor, brother. I got you. Will you email Adam? Adam at ADRLtour.com. Just email Adam, let him know, and we will get the right shirt shipped out to you.
Yep.
Because we want to make sure that we get the and speaking of that, we do still have some. We have drag stock. Well, now we pretty much sold. We still have a few left, but we have drag stock. We got some Georgia drag shirts left, and we do have some of the Drag Wars shirts left. Buddy Plant, if you're watching, you know that we got yours. But if you're interested in getting one of those shirts, let us know. Again, email Adam at ADRLtour.com. And we will fulfill an order for you guys. And as well, I know a lot of folks were interested in the Burromax pit bikes. I can't tell you how many numbers I exchanged for those. Anybody that wants a Burromax pit bike, reach out to me. Ryan at ADRLtour.com. Ryan at ADRLtour.com. And that's with an O, RYON at ADRLtour.com. Let me know which one you want, and I will give you your special ADRL price for that. Okay, and I promise you it will be substantially different than what you can get it anywhere else, whether it's Amazon or anywhere. I'll take care of you is what I'm saying, because you're an ADRL Nation fan. So Burromax, merchandise, partnerships, keep that in mind, spread the word. And also, again, we want to thank Fuel Tech for our being one of our awesome sponsors, and Luis down there in Brazil helping all the flood victims out. I know it's kind of crazy down there with all the flooding they had going on, just some crazy storms. I hate to hear that, but he's down there right now. He did put out a message that if you're trying to reach out to him, he's going to be a little out of pocket per se. And then Chris Duncan Race Cars. Appreciate you guys being one of our sponsors. They were out there with the Chevelle from Hell. It's great to have our sponsors actually participating in the events with us. Like, how cool is that? Between Toby and Renegade and Chris and Amanda with Chris Duncan Race Cars.
It just kind of helps to show that they believe in what they're putting their name behind. They're not just throwing it out there.
That's right. And Luis does plan on running with us, so we'll see when that happens. Or not.
Texas.
All right. Well, that was another great podcast. Appreciate everybody joining in. It was a little different Tuesday night. Adam, are we doing a Thursday night too, or are we going to get back to Thursday next week?
I think it would probably be pretty bad if we try to pull a bet you didn't know on Thursday. So I think
I meant an ADRL podcast Thursday.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do another one on Thursday just to keep within the confines. With this one, I didn't want to hold off until this Thursday and get so far removed from the event. So I really wanted to since this was our first one since Drag Wars. Really wanted to get out there and talk about it. So now this week we'll forego the bet you didn't know podcasting and we'll just stick with drag racing this week. And I know that's so upsetting to all the people that love to throw their drag racing stuff in the comments of my other podcasts. No, we love it. So we'll have another ADRL podcast on Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. And then we'll be back at our normal routine next week.
Yep, that sounds good. Well, hey, we love everybody that watches, tunes in. Appreciate all your support. I miss Gilberish Tuesdays. Gibberish. It's funny because without my glasses, there's like double letters of everything.
And the camera.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I don't even know where I'm looking. Tuesday nights is definitely an interesting night, so to speak. But I'm gonna get back to it, man.
Yep,
maybe I'll meet you. Maybe take a break and meet you online. Go build your empire.
No, don't threaten me with a good time.
I know. All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for tuning in. This is ADRL the podcast on Tuesday night, normally Thursday nights. Again, thank you, Renegade Fuel Tech and Chris Duncan Race Cars. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm Dr. Fears.
I'm Prince Adam.
And we will catch you guys Thursday night for the Thursday night.
In a couple
podcast.
days, 48 hours.
Peace and chin grease.
It's Tuesday. Bulls on parade.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just don't say the other part.